Tonight we have a proclamation to proclaim November 2024 as Native American Heritage Month. Oh, wonderful. Welcome.
Hi, good evening, Chair Harrington and Commissioners. I'm Amanda Garcia-Snell, Community Engagement Manager and Temporary Deputy Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer for the county. I'm honored to introduce this proclamation as well as offer a few introductory remarks. Washington County Cultural Heritage celebrations and resource pages are an important starting point for our collective organizational engagement and learning about equity, diversity, and inclusion. They offer an opportunity to enter into and strengthen relationships with staff and community who recognize the important role that Native American community members play in the diversity of Washington County. The Native American community, like all cultures, is not monolithic. It encompasses a range of diverse life experiences and opinion. Consequently, the celebrations and resource pages may not present a comprehensive picture of the nuances or full range of opinions within any culture or subculture. The Native American Heritage Month celebrations we will be enjoying have been planned and organized by numerous staff who volunteer to support our learning in addition to their official work. This is also done in partnership with Clean Water Services. We encourage anyone who is curious to learn more to reach out to OEICE, the Office of Equity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement, or open a dialogue with colleagues or the Planning Committee. I want to thank all the members of the committee who met over the past few weeks, utilizing a shared leadership model. This small but mighty committee included Shayna Johnson, Megan McKibben, Cheyenne McCleaton, Ashley Horn, Latricia McCauley, Jeff Frazier, Sandra Boyer, Ika Fallstrom, and several partners at Clean Water Services. With that, I would like to turn it over to Megan McKibben to read the proclamation.
Thank you, Amanda. Good evening, Chair Harrington and Board of Commissioners. As stated already, my name is Megan McKibben. I am an employee of Washington County and proud member of the Cherokee Nation. I am honored to read this proclamation tonight. Whereas, proclamation, Board of Commissioners for Washington County, a proclamation in honor of Native American Heritage Month. Whereas, Washington County is committed to creating an inclusive community that celebrates diversity and ensures all residents have equitable opportunities to lead healthy, peaceful, safe, and sustainable lives. And whereas, in honoring the cultures, traditions, and accomplishments of Native Americans that have shaped our country, we also acknowledge our nation's history of colonialism that has inflicted discrimination, deprivation, violence, and genocide upon Indigenous people. And whereas the area currently known as Washington County, Oregon, rests on land that was first inhabited by the Atfalati Kalipuyans, also called the Tualatin people, who flourished here for thousands of years. And whereas settlers began arriving in what would become Washington County in the 1830s to take land from the Atfalati that was not ceded nor paid for until 1855 under the Willamette Valley Treaty, which was signed with many other tribes. And whereas the Atfalati signed an 1851 treaty with the United States, which was never ratified, in 1855 signed the Willamette Valley Treaty, which was ratified, ceding all of their lands to the United States in exchange for a permanent reservation, supplies, and services. And whereas the Atfalati were forcibly removed from their homeland to the Grand Ronde Indian Reservation in 1856, which is where they were mistreated by the United States government and Indian agents, being denied land, adequate food, medicines, and services for nearly 20 years, causing many Native people to live in poverty and to suffer untimely deaths. And whereas the first off-reservation Indian boarding school in Oregon was established in Forest Grove, many Native students from area reservations were removed from their families and sent there to assimilate to white culture, deliberately to disconnect them from their Native culture and language. This disconnection from their community, identity, and culture continues to persist through generational trauma and hardship. And whereas the Grand Ronde Indian Reservation was terminated by the United States Congress in 1954 in Public Law 588, causing the displacement and disenfranchisement of thousands of Native peoples of Oregon, including the Atfalati peoples, who were then forced to leave the former reservation, causing further loss of Native languages and cultures. And whereas the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde Community of Oregon was reestablished as recognized Native nation in 1983 under Public Law 98-165, with the Atfalati people as members, beginning the process of restoring the tribe, community, and cultures of the tribal nation. And whereas the Atfalati people endure to this day as members of the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde Community of Oregon, having survived catastrophic diseases, loss of their ancestral lands, forced relocation to a reservation, family separations through the removal of children to boarding schools, and termination. And whereas, after overcoming numerous setbacks over the years to regain treaty-acquired land and federal recognition as a sovereign nation, the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde established a successful government to serve the needs of their members and also generously support the advancement of underserved communities throughout Northwest Oregon. And whereas we seek to repair the trauma of past oppression and broken trust, both locally and regionally, by lifting up Indigenous cultures and voices and striving together to build a future of shared hope and promise for all. Now, therefore, be it resolved that on this 22nd day of October 2024, the Washington County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim November 2024 as Native American Heritage Month, a time to celebrate the rich and diverse cultures of Indigenous people, to raise awareness about our shared history, and acknowledge the important contributions that Native Americans have made to our community and our nation.
Thank you very much, Megan. Commissioners, what are your wishes with regard to today's proclamation?
So moved.
Enthusiastically seconded.
All those in favor of adopting the read proclamation, please vote by raising your hand or saying aye. Thank you, Commissioners. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously 5-0.